I was just talking about having to protect your freedom when you're in positions of authority, power. That is not to say that these people can't be criminals. They can't do wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, when you have to lose a lot to lose, you have to act like it. I think that's what I said. Protect yourself. I remember when I first got in human resources, they said treat every document as if something that may end up in court.
I've been to myself, just me lately. I don't need a lot. I've been to myself, just me lately. I don't need a lot. No. Just me and the fam, few friends ain't playing. I don't speak a lot, and I can't stop. And I can't stop.
Good morning. It is Tuesday. It is June 17th. How is everybody doing? Welcome all of my new subscribers and all of my returning stars. It's all love over here. We're spreading our love and light, letting others know God is real by the way we act, the way we speak, the way we treat others. And I know sometimes y'all look at me like, oh my goodness, I my brother told me I have road rage. I just don't like, I love everybody, but I don't like inconsiderate people. What do you mean? Well, people just pull out in front of you, don't use signal. You see you got a line of cars waiting to see what you're going to do, and then you don't use your signal, you turn, and when 3 cars could have gone, I'm just saying, yeah. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Y'all keeping up with the Diddy trial? I kind of tapped out because, to me, I do have a problem in situations where there's a guilty party. I don't believe in a party being guilty all by themselves when they were actually co-conspirators. That's just like if I knew that the person that I was going into the store with was stealing, and I told them, look, get this for me and get that for me. Although I didn't steal, I was going to reap the benefits of the theft. You understand what I'm saying? Am I making sense? So for me, all of those people that enabled Diddy are also guilty. I've talked about this, and a lot of y'all haven't watched all of my videos, so I'm going to say it again. You may hear me say it another time, but you can write certain parts of your own story. Like God gives you free will to come to Him. So if you got free will to come to God who gave you life, you can walk away from situations, that are unfavorable. I have the utmost respect for this guy that used to work for me. And he told me one time, we were having a conversation about some things. He said, if it's unethical, illegal, immoral, or discriminatory, I'm not going to do it. So we have to make choices in life. And if we're working in situations where things go against our morals and values, we have the right to walk away. We should walk away. I interviewed with this company. That's what I was going to tell y'all earlier. And I told the guy, I said, I don't want to work for an organization who thinks the manager is always right, because he's not. Nobody is right all the time, and nobody is wrong. So, just like it almost seems like some people with Diddy, everything that he do, everything he stands for is bad. We all know that's not true. I remember situations where he was giving people rides home so they wouldn't be drinking and driving for the holidays. And hurt people. Diddy had a problem. And all those people around him, as wealthy as he was, nobody tried to help him. I'm not going to say nobody tried to help him. Let me take that back. I haven't been keeping up with the trial. I watch Armand Wiggins. I love his commentary because he makes it comical and he takes some of the sadness out of it for me. Because I'll cry over other people's situations because I have that type of empathy for others. But at what point do you... So what I'm saying, to me, if I'm working for somebody and I'm providing him with things I know that's illegal or could end up getting him in trouble, it ain't even about me. It's if you hire me to look out for you, that's what I'm gonna do. Even if we have to bump heads. Hey man, you can't do that. That's gonna get you in trouble. That'll get you locked up. You'll lose your freedom. Your kids have to be in this world without you because you'll be locked up. That's the kind of heart I have. That's the kind of heart I have. Even like the situation with R. Kelly. Y'all knew the accusations against R. Kelly. You still let your young daughters go there and live with him, seeking fortune and fame. What about your soul? Have people forgotten about that? I remember my friend told me one time, he said, some people don't care about no hell, heaven or hell, because they want to live heaven on earth. Wow. I'm going to tell y'all something. Peace is priceless. So if I had to walk away for $100,000 job for peace, guess what? I'll choose peace. And if I'm doing the right thing, God gonna bless me. He is. He said he'll never leave you or forsake you. So if you're in a situation where you need to walk away from a situation on the job or you knew things are not right, don't stay there. Leave. I'll talk to y'all later. Be blessed. Bye. Happy Wednesday is June 18th. Tomorrow is Juneteenth and we're off. So happy Juneteenth, y'all. I feel like when we have days like this off, we need to go and do some type of community service. It is so hot though. My car had 102 on the dash. It's at 99 now. But welcome all my subscribers. It's all love over here. So I was watching another court case. Well, I didn't actually watch it, but I saw that the jury had come back and found, and they acquitted that Karen, was her last name Reed. And so I was just listening to what people were saying, and somebody in the comments said, yeah, now they need to look at that police officer who, he and his wife didn't even come out to see what had happened, and they pulled up some carpet in their house, and I think they sold their house, they moved or something. I was like, wow. And then they said that the medical examiner said that he wasn't run over. The injuries wasn't, those are someone that had been run over. I was like, what? So I didn't get into the trial, actually. I know the cases in Massachusetts. I know that there was a mistrial or hung jury or something the first time they tried the case or whatever, but she was acquitted. I think they did charge her with driving while intoxicated or something, but they said that she ran over him and left him for dead. They said it's not what happened. The injuries was not those of someone who was ran over by a vehicle. So I don't know, y'all. I was like, wow, what happened to the man? And I don't have all the details. And then I saw what did his case. The judge sent everybody home. Said one of the jurors called, one of the alternate jurors called and said he was on his way there and he got sick and had to turn around and go back or something. I don't know, but I think he was a replacement juror too. I'm not even sure. I'm just giving y'all what I saw. And this just so far the week in review, the things that I have seen online. I was reading where a little girl, 11 years old, she was in remission because she had been treated for leukemia, and she went to the hospital and a nurse practitioner gave her some gabapentin, I think it's for upset stomach or something, and they gave her morphine, but they said they gave her more than the recommended dosage or whatever, and the child ended up dying. Yeah, that baby had overcome leukemia and ended up dying. They sent her home. I think they said that the medications they gave her, she should have been hospitalized so that they could monitor her or whatever. And the parents sued. I think this was somewhere in, I put the name of the state. I think it was in Illinois. But they settled that. The jury or the judge or whatever gave them $20-point-something million for that. But no amount of money could bring that baby back. And then I just happened to look, and I think this started yesterday, where this Derek Dixon or whatever his name is, he's suing Tyler Perry for sexual essay. I think we're not supposed to use that terminology here, and something else. And remember, just the other week, somebody had accused Smokey Robinson. So, y'all, I had a video that I had done, some years ago. I was on a long, winding road, headed home or headed out to shop or whatever, and I was just talking about having to protect your freedom when you're in positions of authority, power. That is not to say that that these people can't be criminals. They can't do wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, when you have to lose a lot to lose, you have to act like it. I think that's what I said. Protect yourself. I remember when I first got in human resources, they said treat every document as if something that may end up in court. And so that's what I want to tell you. In every situation that you endure, that you come in contact with, that you engage in, treat that situation as if it's a situation that could land you in a court of law. We're in those days and times. It's just that a lot of times previously, things would happen to people and they would just stay silent. But people are speaking out. That's not to say that I agree or disagree. I wasn't there. I don't have all the details. I can't make an intelligent decision when I don't have any of the facts. I'm just stating that protect yourself, handle every situation and every person as if it's someone that you may have to sit on the opposite side in the court of law. Now, I have said this before. It's a very great, it's a touchy subject. It's a great area. And when you're talking about SA and flirting, because flirting now could possibly land you in danger. Cost you a lot of money. I put it like that. Not land you in danger, but it could be costly. I just said that when you're, it's almost like if I would be a millionaire, I'm telling you now, I would not engage with anyone without an assistant with me. Now, how that will work and how I would accommodate that, I'm not sure. But, I would just have to protect my assets. I feel like I can engage anybody now because I don't have anything. If they sue me, all they're going to get is this car. And, so that's how I look at it. Yep, all they'll get is this vehicle. But I just, like I said, I operate in love in everything that I do. I don't just talk about it, I be about it. And the way I treat people in personal relationships, professional relationships, y'all, my YouTube family, I operate in love. Because I give what I want to get. And see, for me, I live like this. I treat people the way I want somebody to treat my kids, my children, because I ain't promised to be here forever, y'all. None of us are. We just traveling this road, and at any minute we could just be disconnected from it. We could just be, we could just, in a twinkle of an eye, we can be gone. That's just real. I remember I was talking to my friend, and we were talking about life, the movie Life. It's like, you remember that part of the music? It was in that part of the movie. It was just the music playing, and people just started vanishing. And that's really how life is. My mom said the older you get, the more people you're gonna leave. They're just gonna leave. And Lord, that is so true. It is so true. But anyway, y'all, I'm at church. We got a meeting tonight, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.